Welcome. This is a Bannerlord patch E1.6.0 quick overview. So there's not be nothing in game yet, but as you can see, we're still downloading the bottom here. It's just a quick overview of the patch. So if you aren't home or you're still downloading, you can watch this and see if I can get a feel what this new patch is. It was running 1.5.10. Now we're upgrading to 1.6.0. So as you can see here, for single player, we have a bunch of crash fixes. You can read here if you have any crash problems like this, but once again, fantastic. Once again, your standard patch for performance. Obviously, more performance increases. Obviously, an Iron Man game mode, a structured campaign saved to a single save file. That seems totally fine. Players can choose to enable this option during character creation. Won't be able to change it in game. That's totally fine. So kind of more of a hardcore feel, adding a little more of a difficulty. And then more bug fixes for save and load. Nothing too crazy. Localization at standard. Arts, they added 2 Sturgia boots, New Batanian Battle Crown, Western Empire Battle Crown. So they added, I think, a few more Battle Crowns to the game. Water refraction quality improvement. That'll be actually interesting to see in game when you have your water turned up, if that increases the quality of the water. Visual improvements to the Sturgia keeps. That's not bad. Personally, I prefer more of a Empire feel. And some bug fixes. Animations, just some bug fixes. And just added a icons for improved campaign map villages and LOSD for all camp map icons. Just a visual improvement, I believe, here. And you're going to be slower on a desert. For audio, improved the settlement ambient sounds and campaign ambient sounds. It's a little more immersive, I believe, throughout the game here. For UI, party screen upgrade and recruitment pop-up. 2 new pop-ups have been added to the party screen to streamline an upgrading recruitment process. That probably makes it easier to determine what you want to do and how much trip you want to probably upgrade. Add an option to the party screen that allows you to lock units. That's actually really impressive because if you want to lock, say for example, I'm using the Game of Thrones mod, say lock all your Western lands or Lannister army troops, you can just transfer everything over that are prisoners or troops that you took in from the previous battle. So this is really cool, depositing armies without manually trying to find the unit you want. Village nameplate production icons. That'd be pretty cool to see the primary products. You can probably see they're making iron or wood and all that fun stuff from a distance. So encyclopedia item sorting. It makes it easier if you want to look up stuff. This is standard across the board. That's not bad. Custom battle troop selection. I think this is more of a custom battle, so unreflected to the campaign. Crafting screen changes, an option to hide locked items. Actually, is really cool, so you can see what you just have unlocked, and an indicator, so you can see what you unlock. That's the one thing I always wanted to have, is to see what I've unlocked, so I can see what new weapons I can make. Yep, that's totally fine. Adding a save UI element. That's cool, seeing that it actually saves. You're not questioning when the game saved last. Improve how influence cost for fusion boost is shown in the army management panel. Improved photo mode. A lot of this is kind of just, once again, quality of life changes for be able to see icons and see different unit information throughout. For fixes for UI, obviously a lot of fixes for UI. And let's go see if they actually address battle sieges and stuff. Let's see if they do this here. Change difficulty setting, which reduces damage to allies. Not only affects the player's own party. Friendly agents outside the player party will no longer receive a damage reduction. Okay. That's fine. Improved AI target selection when using the... Okay, so catapult. So a little bit of an AI for siege. Fix an issue causing AI to require a second charge order for it to attack. That was massive. You'd have to send it twice before they would actually go. Normally, if you send it once, they just hover at the bottom of the walls and they won't actually siege the city. Added a scene feature that allows scene designer to override default reference positions, solve instances where the defending AI had trouble determining the offensive approach. That's also really cool because you have most of your AI on, let's say, the left side of the map while they're sieging the right, and your AI will stay on the left or not push on the right. And just bug fixes. Okay, so they've changed character development system. That's actually pretty cool. We haven't had this in months. That's right. Pro caravans are 30% cheaper to build, 10% less penalty for trading. No speed penalties in desert. That's actually really good, especially with the uh changes where you're 10% slower in deserts. That actually makes it very worthwhile for them. Or at least increases, not really worthwhile, but increases their benefits. Only problem is daily wages. 5% is very negatable. Botania, 50% less speed penalty, and okay, in forest, that's really good. Have one militia production, 10% slower build rate. So if you're more of an offensive build, it's offensive campaign, I feel this is what you want to go with, rather than dealing with the project settlements, which is usually on the go. For Empire, 20% less garrison troop wages. Being in an army brings 25 more influence. Builds hearts increase 20% less. I feel like this is a massive blow to the Empire. But I think they had it was it before. They've had it where your settlements were faster or the army, one of the two, army exp. This is good, but I mean most of the time if you have them around you and you're not going too far, you can usually defend. Influence. I mean, if your own kingdom, sure. If you're a vassal, it's not doing much. Okay. Con village hearts. That's gonna be annoying, but nothing too detrimental. Crusade. Upgrade mounted troops 10% cheaper. 25% production bonus to horse, mules, cows, sheep, and villages owned by Crusade rulers. That's actually not bad, actually, especially if you have workshops. 20% less tax income from town. So you get 25% more bonus for production for those items, but you get 20% less tax from towns. So it's a trade off. So I think if you have high trade, this will be beneficial because you can outsell the tax reduction. Sturkia. Recruiting upgrading infantry troops is 25% cheaper. This is pretty good for early game skirmishing. Armies lose 20% less deadly cohesion. Okay. 20% more relationship penalty for kingdom decisions. So if you're a kingdom yourself and basically have it where no one can judge your decision making, this actually isn't that bad because you can your troops a lot faster and cheaper. Valandia, 5% more renown from battles, 15% more income from serving as a mercenary, 10% production bonus to villages that are bound to castles, and recruiting lords to armies, 20% more influence. So this kind of seems more of a mercenary faction then. For Sandbox, we have players will now start the game with bonus 2 focus points and 1 attribute point age 20, and 4 at age 30, 6 at age 40, and so forth. So the older you are, the more focus points, probably to get you in the game faster because your character is going to die soon. Added item donation through perks. Stewardship T5 perk Foreseeable Future has been renamed to Giving Hand, with primary effect changed to discarding weapons can be donated to troops for increased experience. That's okay, I don't see much use there. Steward T4 perk Paid and Promise secondary effect has been changed to discarding armors can be donated to troops for experience. Is it your experience or is it troop experience? I believe it's your experience. If you're close to leveling up, you can probably donate your weapons and armors. With these perks, whenever a player discards an item from inventory and loot screen, their troops gain experience. Oh, so it's their troops. Okay, so if you want to upgrade, see a bunch of tier 1 levies, or I'm thinking of a Rome mod. So these levies or archers, you can quickly level them up. I'm going to assume by donating armors. We have a bunch of fixes. That's totally fine. Clan and party not upgradable, and max tier units no longer gain XP from the shared XP contribution. That makes sense. And another bug fix for kingdoms and diplomacy. We have increased the decision-making logic for kingdom decisions to take into account relationships when determining support levels. That's totally fine. Seems reasonable. If you're really good with a one faction, they might lean towards you, or not at war or something. Let's say. Improved distribution of settlements that were previously owned by a clan that was destroyed. and bug fixes. Okay, this is a long patch notes, so we're gonna skip over multiplayer because multiplayer right now is still in a weird state. So for crafting, add a new feature called crafting orders, which can be accessed via the Enter Smithy game menu option in towns. It allows players to craft weapons for nobles and notables when opening open orders. Consequently, weapon crafting has been split into two modules: calling orders and free build. Fulfilling crafting orders will grant you crafting experience and research points to unlock new parts, in addition to gold reward in relation gain with the notables. So basically, it's like just a quest chain now of you building custom armor, custom weapons for notables in the area. Another path, if you don't like doing the missions, so a lot of the missions are kind of like caravan escort ones, terrible because they're too long. You can probably just do smithing now to increase your notable values with those people. After taking an order, you will need to create a weapon design that satisfies the stated requirements. Very straightforward. Exceeding expectations or under delivering comes with its own bonuses and penalties, such as increased or reduction of the gold reward. That seems totally standard. So if you deliver a good product, you might have a chance to get a better reward. Under deliver, worse reward. Very straightforward. Gives more dynamic to smithing. Relationship gains from crafting orders need to be unlocked with perks. That's also pretty cool. The crafting experience and research points needed to unlock new parts gangs received from the free build have greatly reduced. So now you can't just spam javelins and unlock all the perks. But I think it still might be the case. We will see in the next couple of weeks how this plays out. We will continue to evaluate the values of items produced through the crafting process, so stuff might still be broken price wise. Settlement actions, towns, village, castles, and hideouts. Success change for gaining relation via emissaries will be reduced by half, and a bunch of bug fixes. For quests, they added a few new quests. We will see how that plays out. Added new additional dialogues can result via companion. Spy quest, the Spy Among Us, is now 225 HP, and a bunch more fixes. So nothing really added to quests, just 3 new quests. I'm going to assume Noble revolts and conquest of a city is just probably taking over a city and siding with a noble or getting rid of a noble that revolted. A conversation and encounters. The barter option with looters no longer takes power ratio into account. Instead, it will consider who initiated the encounter. Barter auto offer now prioritizes gold over barterable items. I thought that was already a thing. And ransoming prisoners via conversation with the ransom broker has been temporarily disabled. Yeah, I never personally used it. And some bug fixes. Let me just open this bad boy up. Okay. Other all saddles can now be equipped as civilian equipment. That's actually really nice quality of life. Remove decorated. Okay. Revised tournament equipment templates. Valenian gallant troops now use saddles. Clan logos. Bunch of bug fixes. Okay, so just minor stat replacement and some saddle for different troops. Multiplayer, we're going to skip this. There's not much to it, just some networking stuff, some UI fixes, added duel mode. So you obviously can duel with your people. Designing and balance, shield blocking, and some crash fixes. Nothing too crazy here. For both, crashes, fix a crash. That's totally fine. Audio. UI. Yeah, just more performance improvements as mentioned here. So memory should use less memory overall, I believe. Reduce spikes in the sound occlusion system, so basically we have higher quality sound, uses more CPU. So this should reduce that as well. Reduce GPU memory usage, that's also really nice, especially if you're recording using or streaming using your GPU to process the frames. A combat AI horse and or animations and some more bug fixes. Now, this is really where the cool stuff comes in. It's modding changes. We did see the drama and controversy over a bunch of mod creators on the Citadel forums about them kind of sidelining modders, if I'm correct. So they added 2 new resources to the modding resource folder to support the new horse rain simulation creation tool. Let's click on that and see if that opens up. Obviously, you won't be able to see it. Yeah, right here. So I'm going to assume it will allow modders to modify physics probably of the individual horse parts. So you can probably get a more in-depth feel about horse armors. That's actually really cool. Add new details, sound prefabs, rats, tavern exterior, arena exterior, and keep fight exterior. So you can probably modify sound files for those as well. Added the ability to name a new paint layer upon creation. Once again, I'm not a modder, so I wouldn't know what this means. Added some more problem detection systems related to siege ladders for scenes. So maybe getting the ability to have modders fix their siege AI. Add support for adding new custom battle maps outside the custom module within other modules. This is absolutely, I believe, is fantastic. So for that was for doing like, say, Lord of the Rings, the Warhammer maps, the Game of Thrones, a Realm of Thrones mod. I think this might be able to help them publish stuff for that easier. Hero class now uses elements and handles certain restrictions. Okay, this is a bunch of stuff. Did a refactor to move campaign related classes. Okay, so they're just adding a bunch of stuff. Um, then again, I'm not sure if this is all good or not, but we'll find out. And then we have a bunch of fixed crashes. So hopefully this is a benefit to the modders, not a detriment, as what the previous drama was over the last week or so. And I believe that is the only update, unless we totally skipped 1.5.10 as the main branch. But I do believe it's the beta branch, so that should be the main branch. Okay, and then for those who are wondering how do you get it, so you open up your library. Yeah, so you open up your right click on your mountain blade that's installed. You go to properties. You go to betas. What you want to do is scroll down to the beta that you want. So I want 1.6.0 beta. I click on that, and it will now install 1.6.0 beta. And if you want to go back from it to say 1.5.10, you do the same thing, or you want to go back to an earlier thing. Just an update though, if you do update your mod or update your game or backdate your game, your mods may not work. So you have to be careful with that, as well as your saves might also be corrupted if you're playing with mods. Other than that, I hope this quick overview piqued your interest. Stay tuned, like and subscribe, and enjoy your day.